Am I sideways? Have I been sideways this whole time? Hey, it's Steph. Thanks for watching today's video. I'm going to be doing an update to my Panthoseeyeshadows Project Pan. This was originally created by Alexi, so I will link her down below. If you want to follow along with other panners, the hashtag is Panthoseeyeshadows, but we are all doing it a little differently according to how we most enjoy panning eyeshadows. For me, I am panning 5 randomly selected eyeshadows. I can either hit pan or hit 20 uses, whichever comes first. And I also roll in a random palette to focus on. I kind of touched on this on my last update, but I do want to kind of tweak that rule a little bit. I want to follow in Chanrel's footsteps. If you don't follow Chanrel, you need to. She is so sweet and just a bubbly personality, and she's a great panner. So I will leave her linked below as well, but she pans seasonally, at least her eyeshadows. So right now she is focusing on shades that she would enjoy wearing in spring. And I have definitely discovered that I'm a seasonal makeup wearer. I find it very hard to pan, dark eyeshadows in the springtime, and adversely springtime shadows in, let's say, the fall. So in saying that, let's just get into my update. If you didn't see my last video, I did cut my hair. I love it. Let me know what you guys think, but I just think it's a lot of fun, and I'm not as lazy with my hair now. My default was always to throw it up in a bun, partly because of where I work, but now I'm a little forced to style it, which I'm still kind of learning how to style it best, but I think it's really cute and I'm very happy with it. I'm going to start off with the palette that I randomly generated last month. It is my Tori Bell Space Out palette. Has 6 shades in it. And I've been keeping track of my usage on the back. I didn't really have a goal for this because I wasn't excited to pan it, again, because it's spring. And these are definitely not spring colors. You can see some wear on a few of these shades, which I'm pretty happy about. So I'll just go through them one by one. This first shade is what I used the most, and I actually used this 15 times. I have it all over my lid right now on top of another shade in this project, and I really enjoy it as a topper and also putting it in my inner corner. So that's the shade Milky Way. This beautiful gold color, Venus, I use this 7 times, and I love to just put this all over my lid for a bronzy warm look. I did not use Mars at all. I know you can see like a little mark there. I think I just swatched it, but no uses. This gorgeous purple shade is called Cosmos. I use this 5 times. Every use I just put it on my outer corner, and I really enjoyed that. I actually could have done that today with this purple look, but oh well. I did use Space Dust 1 time, probably as an outer corner shade, and then I did not use this shade at all this month. I think in total I reached for this 17 individual times because I didn't use, all the shades every time. And I'm pretty happy with that use. And in light of my new seasonal rule, I will be rolling this out and rolling in a more spring appropriate palette, which I'm really excited for. The first randomly rolled eyeshadow is my Makeup Geek single in the shade Vintage. This is what it was looking like last month after only 7 uses, and I was pretty disappointed with that number. So I really focused on this shade this month. I am wearing it all over my lid today. That's usually how I would wear it, but I used this 13 times this past month, and I have a total of 20 uses now. Unfortunately, I did not hit pan, but there's a beautiful dip happening And I am going to roll this out because I've hit my 20 use goal. The next shade that's been here since the beginning is from my Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Thunder palette. This is what it was looking like last month. After 14 uses, I was starting to see a good dip in there. I only use this as a wing liner on the top lash line, and it's a very glittery shadow, so I don't even enjoy it that way. So I used this 4 more times this month with a total of 18 uses. And this is what it's looking like. In the viewfinder, it kind of looks like I have pan, but I don't. That's just where the dip is. Because I am panning an actual liquid liner in another panning project, and because this shade has been in here from the beginning, and I only have 18 uses on it, which is, you know, only 2 away from my 20 use goal, I am going to roll this out. I think it's kind of goes along with the line what I want to be panning during the springtime as well. This is a very fall forward palette in my opinion. So yeah, I'm going to be rolling this out. I'm sorry if you think that is cheating, but I don't want to hate pan. No hate panning. The next 3 shades were rolled in last month. So let's just start off with the one that I use the most. It's from my ColourPop Making Mauves palette, and it's the very first shade, R&R. This is what it looked like when I rolled it in. It was untouched, brand new. I was able to use this 19 times. And as you know, ColourPop shadows do not budge. But I do have a dip. Look at that dip. And I did, you know, you can see some wear on some other shades in this palette, which I'm really happy about. I use this R&R shade just in my crease. Basically every day I wear makeup. It doesn't matter what look I do. I have it in my crease today with this purple look, and obviously the tones are perfect for it. The next shade is from my Tori Bell Flat Earth palette, and it's the shade Terracotta. This is what it looked like when I rolled it in, untouched. I mean, I'm sure I had a few uses on it before this because I've used this palette. This is what it's looking like today after 7 uses. Not much wear. I did also dip into this shade. Anytime that I wanted to warm up my crease, I would use terracotta, and sometimes I would just mix in sandstone. And then the last shade is from my Sigma Cinderella palette, and it is the shade Sweet Nightingale. This is what it looked like when I rolled it in. Again, it was brand new and untouched. I was a little scared of this shade, but it is what I asked for. It's a beautiful spring tone. So it really pushed myself to get a little colorful this last month. And I did. I used this 5 times. Here it is in the center. You can definitely see some wear. And I just use the brush that comes in the palette. Here's a look with it just all over my lid just to show off the color. But here is another look that I kind of experimented with. I put Venus from my Space Out palette all over my lid, and then I put this blue color in the inner corner, and it actually turned into like a green, which I thought was really interesting. I love color theory. It wasn't what I was expecting, and it wasn't really the look I was going for, but it was kind of cool to see like how versatile this shade can be. If I really, you know, wanted a green, I could turn it into a green. Okay, I have my spreadsheet here. I'm going to randomly generate a number between 1 and 267. I did update my spreadsheet with my new eyeshadow palettes that I introduced in my haul, so it should be up to date. I am panning some eyeshadows in other projects, so if I do roll those in, I will just re-roll. So I have my pretty random map here, and I'm just gonna shake it. 101. Ooh! Ooh! That's the 5th shade in my Half Cake Snack Pack palette, which is very spring. I'm so excited. I don't know what shade that is though. The next shade is 106. And that is from, ooh, that's from my Hip Dot C Note palette. That's the first shade. And I've never used that palette. I'm not familiar with it, so I don't even know if that's springy. I'm gonna go grab those shades. I'm also going to grab a few palettes that I think could work for spring, and then I'm going to randomize between those just to make it a little more fun. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with my two palettes that I randomly generated the shades, and I did look at them just to make sure that they were good. So the first one was from my Half Caked Snack Pack palette, and I literally laughed out loud when I looked at it because it is the 5th shade in the palette. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is the only neutral creamy shade in the palette. Hopefully super easy to pan. It's called Holy Cannoli. My goal will be to hit pan, or 20 uses, whichever. And then the other shade was the very first shade in my Hip Dot C Note. Is that how you pronounce it? It is this shade, which I think will work beautifully. It's just kind of a shimmery pale blue color called Rain. And yeah, it's kind of got like a periwinkle vibe to it. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but as you can see, this palette is untouched. Not only do I want to hit pan, but I'm going to do this no pan left behind style. I want to use each shade at least once as well. And then I have a handful of palettes that I'm willing to pan at this time of year. Some of them are only 6 shades. Some of them are, how many is this? 18. So this is a gamble for sure. I'll just introduce them. Mercury Retrograde by Huda Beauty. My Tartlet Tease from Tarte. Oh, there's the plastic still in there. This is a beautiful neutral, but I've never used it. So, and of course neutrals, I'm happy to pan any season. Then I have my Star Wars Mandalorian and ColourPop collaboration, The Child palette. I have my brand new ColourPop Wild Nothing palette. Oh, there goes the plastic. And last but not least, I have my Beauty Bay Bambi palette. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. So maybe I will order these from like least amount of pans to most amount of pans. We're gonna go Bambi's number 1, Tartlet is number 2, The Child is 3, Wild Nothing is 4, and Mercury is 5. So I'm going to clear my history, do 1 through 5. 1. Cute. Oh, these blues will pair really nicely with that Hip Dot. I have no clue how deep these shadows are. Because this palette is just kind of, it stands as a bonus. It's just kind of a throw-in to make sure that I'm getting more use out of my palettes. My goal will be to use each shade 10 times and then I can roll it out. Let's see how deep these pans are. I'm very curious. That is it for my update. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you like panning and makeup content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so I see you in my next video.